Marshmallow, and you are, well, you're you. Hello, you. Welcome to Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting, or welcome back if you've been around for a while. We're going to do a WIP Chat today, so go ahead and grab a diamond painting, your favorite snack, and maybe something a little caffeinated. If you're like me today, and lately in general, you maybe just want an IV drip of caffeine directly into the bloodstream. That's kind of where I'm at. Ooh, stuck my finger to my canvas. And anyway, today we're going to catch up because life has been, well, it's been lifing, yeah, as usual, as it does. And we've had birthdays, we've had family stayovers, medical appointments, and Raccoon Mafia shenanigans. There was some incoming creep mail, which is exciting. Usually I'm the one sending out the creep mail packages, but I had some coming into me, and those arrived, and I want to share them with you. And then adulthood has stricken the birthday girl. Leah has been hit with the case of the adulthoods, and apparently is learning the lesson that once you become an adult, you're not allowed to keep your money anymore. So let's dive in. We'll start with our getting comfortable in our seat, and then we'll start with our family weekend. So not this weekend that you're seeing this, but the past weekend was really pretty wonderful, to be honest. I forgot what letter I was on. There we go. Now I know. I'm on I. If anybody's wondering, I'm diamond painting the letter I. I now know, so now you know. Anyway, we had a wonderful family weekend. We had a house full of youth. Well, I mean, they're not really youth anymore. They're getting older. Adult children and their significant others. Of course, Leah was here, and Spider-Man was here pretty much all weekend. And so was Stoner Down and the future Mrs. Stoner Down. And then we had me and Sundown. It was especially nice because we had a bunch of reasons to celebrate, like 3 of them back to back, like day after day after day. Sundown's 52nd birthday, then a special occasion day, and then Leah's 26th birthday. So yay, happy birthday to all. And in celebration of that, we had, like I said, we had family over and staying pretty much all last weekend and early this week. And yeah, we had a good time. Everybody had a good time. We had way too much food and cake, and I regret nothing. I regret nothing. We had, for one of the special occasion sort of dinners, we had Chili's, and then that was for the special occasion dinner. Leah's birthday dinner, she wanted sushi burrito. She enjoyed that. I partook in, I don't remember what, but it wasn't sushi. I don't like sushi. But she wanted sushi. She got sushi. We went through hell and high water to get her a sushi burrito in our little podunk town area. We had to search far and wide and battle traffic demons and stuff to get it, but she got it and she loved it. So that's what's important. And like I mentioned, we spent about $1 million at Chili's to feed 6 people, 6 adults. And that was kind of an adventure in its own right, a financial adventure for sure, because apparently Chili's adds a sneaky little automatic 25% gratuity to their carry-out order bill. And if you don't pay attention to the keypad when you swipe your card, or you don't pay attention to the total that they deliver unto you if you're paying in cash, you might not realize that they're sticking an extra 25%. And when you're feeding 6 people at a restaurant, granted it's not the most expensive restaurant to have ever lived, but it isn't the cheapest either. If you can imagine what a 6-person bill is with like entrees, desserts, appetizers, and stuff for 6 people. And then you take that total, and I would almost double it, because I'm going to guess that you weren't in the neighborhood until you doubled it. And then add 25% ninja surprise gratuity. it wasn't like we were dining at the table. We ordered the food in the app. We drove in 30 minutes into town to pick it up. Waited outside in the parking lot forever. They didn't bring it out to us. We went in to get it. It wasn't one of those curbside things. No, it was a get out of the car in the heat and come inside and get it yourself. And really, they wanted a 25% gratuity for bagging the carry-out order up. I would understand if we had ate at the table, maybe even understood a little bit better if they brought it out to our car, the curbside service situation, but this was not those situations. What they wanted 25% of our 6-person bill for was to bag it and hand it to us. Sundown took a little issue with that, and so did I, to be honest. So be careful, friends, if you're ordering from a restaurant, just because you're doing in the app maybe, or even phoning it in and picking it up yourself, double check that keypad and make sure they're not sneaking not a mandatory, but like a recommended gratuity on there, as they did for us. So that was the food adventure. We had Chili's on the everyone special occasion night. Then we had for Leah's birthday sushi burritos, and then sundown he wanted Arby's for his birthday. And I was like, but we have access to Arby's. Like, we kind of partake in Arby's frequently enough, especially when we travel, because they have those, I never know how to say them, the Greek pita pocket sandwiches that people, gyro, one of those. So we get that quite often, but that's what he wanted. And who am I to tell him what he can and cannot want on his birthday for his birthday meal? So we did get that for his birthday. So lots of arguably terrible food. I mean, it was good, it tasted good, but I just mean like bad for the body, bad for health food, for 3 days straight. So, and then you chuck in cakes. Leah had a peanut butter cake that was actually really good. It wasn't like that. It didn't taste like eating peanut butter. And it wasn't sickeningly sweet with icing or anything. But it wasn't bland either. It was a perfect balance. Her cake was really good. And Sundown had a German chocolate cake for his birthday. And I'll tell you what, we had so much cake in this house that everybody was sick of cake. And there was still plenty left over to send over to Mom down and Dad down. And so they got some cake. So everybody was happy. We only really have cake on special occasions, so it was nice. It was a nice little treat. Expensive. It was an expensive food weekend. Holy heck, was that expensive. But, special occasions, you never know when it's going to be the last of that sort that you're going to celebrate, because life be lifin'. So, make the best of it, right? And no regrets. So I have no regrets, but I am glad to be back to eating a more healthy, balanced, less greasy, less sugary situation. Not all of the kids could make it. Some of them live far, far away. But Leah and Spider-Man were here. Oh, have you guys seen in the national news? Side note, my father messaged me wondering if it was our Spider-Man. I think he meant it as a joke. But have you seen the national news where it says an Arkansas person, Spider-Man in Arkansas, hopped out of his car in a busy intersection to help push and get a handicapped person across the street? Did I say that like... Was that English? Okay. Let me try again. Have you seen the national news about a Jonesboro, Arkansas Spider-Man hopping out of his car at a busy intersection to assist a handicapped person in a wheelchair get across the intersection safely? There. If you did, my dad had saw it. It was making the rounds here locally, and then it hit national news. And my father, who lives in Illinois, he messaged me and he was like, you know, because we call Leah's significant other Spider-Man. And so when he saw that Spider-Man had hopped out of the car in traffic to help someone cross the road safely, and it was on the national news, he was like, is that our Spider-Man? And I was like, no. That was like literally a guy dressed in a Spider-Man suit. Our Spider-Man, to my knowledge, does not dress in a Spider-Man suit. Not the same guy, but it was funny and interesting, you know, and kudos to that Spider-Man, local legend. So I just wonder, have any of you guys heard about that Spider-Man story? Just to clarify, it's not our Spider-Man, but our Spider-Man would do something like that if he was in that situation. But it was not our Spider-Man. It was not Leah's. So, but anyway, I digress. We had Leah, Spider-Man, and Stoner Down, and the future Mrs. Stoner Down were all here pretty much all weekend long. And not only did we have good food and great company, but I will tell you, I need to look into it. It's too late now because we didn't document it, but I'm pretty convinced that we had a world record, Guinness Book of World Record breaking hand of Uno that was played within our home. The kids wanted to play games one night, and they got out a bunch of games, and they were going to play a little of this and a little of that, and they were like, let's start off with a quick little hand of Uno. That quick little hand of Uno, it was everybody but me. I excused myself because I know these kids can get a little viciously competitive with games and stuff. I was like, I knew, I could feel in my bones what was coming. And I was like, I'm gonna just be right over here. I'm still here. I'm still with I'm still part of the fam, but I'm going to be over here diamond painting and enjoying the onslaught of friendly sibling insultery and poking friendly competitive insults at dad and each other and stuff. I'm going to enjoy that from over here. I'm not going to participate. And they had what I would argue was the longest hand in world's history. They played one single hand of Uno for approximately 3 hours before it reached its natural conclusion. An unthrown, nobody gave up, hard-earned win. It basically ate away their game night, because then by the time it was over, it was 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, something like that. I think it was around midnight, and everybody was mentally and physically exhausted from the 3-hour Uno face-off. How does one hand? That was one hand, you guys. And I think judging from what was going on, what I observed, and what I was hearing, the culprit for that, the cause of that, was woefully inadequate shuffling. I even had to step in and shuffle once because none of these fools over here could shuffle cards to save their lives, and I think that's what contributed to the never-ending history-making hand of Uno. If you're curious who won, Stoner Down won. And he not only let the entire house know, but I'm pretty sure that you could hear it in a multi-state radius around us. He shouted and hooped and hollered and gloated and was so relieved that it was all over. You could hear him hundreds of miles away, I'm sure. He was shouting through the house his victory. Didn't even get to play any other games, and the next day not one single soul mention let's play a game. They were, that was it. That was the one game. They didn't get to their Monopolies, their Phase 10s, their various other card games that they had, you know, lined up. It was that one hand. I could understand if they had been playing Uno and were having fun and wanted to do another round and another. No, this was not multiple rounds. This was literally one hand. The first and only hand dealt. Just would not end. It led to some humor. Everybody had a lot of fun, but boy, we were starting to get a little crabby by the end. Friendly crabby. There was sibling kind of poking happening, and they were the kids were poking at Dad a little bit, and even I kind of joined in, and I was like, well, this is what happens when you let a bunch of blondes play a card game and they get to talking and stop paying attention, because there were so many times where they're like, whose turn is it? And what color is it? And I was like, well, if you guys are jibber-jawing too much and you're getting distracted and you're forgetting whose turn it is and what color was picked and all that stuff. But no, the important thing is that everybody enjoyed themselves and had fun, and shockingly, not shockingly, everybody's very friendly, but I think even I would have started getting a little hostile after 3 hours of the same hand of the same game. But they handled it like champs. They had a lot of fun. So that was kind of, our weekend, last weekend and early this week. Just lots of family time, celebration time, good times with each other, and lots of too much food and cake. And then we went right from that into poor Leah. Poor Leah. Happy 26th birthday. Let's serve you up some adulthood here. She had, right after her birthday, she went to work. By the time she got to work, her low tire pressure situation light came on. So, of course, she called Dad. Dad ran out there with his air filler machine thing and filled up her tires so that she and Shar could get home after work. Took her car in today. We could swear she just got new tires in the last year or two, if that. And we took it to the place where we bought the tires, and they were telling, she needs all new tires, and there was a screw in one of her tires and the head had broken off of the screw, and it was just like the shaft of the screw was in the tire. But they were trying to say that all of her tires needed replaced. The tread was really bad, but then we pointed out, well, I shouldn't say we, Sundown pointed out, like, these are newer tires. She just got them, and they were like, oh, let's look again. Oh, yeah, okay, my bad, you're right. They tried to sneaky sell tires, but in any event, I think they patched up her tire, but we wanted a second opinion. So after that, he took took her car to our tire place, and which is not the same as where her tire place was. And they took a look, because the original tire place was like, she needs 4 new tires and an alignment and all this stuff. And for 2 tires at the first place, and they call themselves a discount tire store, whatever, because for 2 tires, the 2 worst ones, and an alignment would have been $500. We take her car to our tire place, and they evaluate her car, and we said, listen, if you're going to replace 2, you might as well, it's best to always, at least I grew up this way, being told that it's best, if you have to replace 1 or 2 tires, you might as well just replace them all, get it all situated. So we went to our tire place with her car and got an estimate for 4 tires and an alignment. And that was only about the same price as what they were going to charge us at the other place for 2 tires. Poor kid. Happy birthday. Here's, it's your birthday. Celebrate. Have some birthday money. And promptly turn around and give it to a tire shop. Welcome to adulthood, my child. Welcome. Because, like, what says happy birthday? Like, spending your birthday money on a pile of rubber. Like a bunch of... it's not funny, but it kind of is, but it's kind of not. But while they were changing out her tires and getting her new tires and her alignment done, they discovered that not only had she needed an alignment and a couple new tires, which we took care of, obviously, spoiler, she needs new brakes too. I think it's brake pads and rotors? Question mark? I would confirm that with Sundown, but I think he's fallen back asleep. He woke up just briefly to make sure that, I don't know, his eyes still opened and then went right back to sleep. So I can't confirm, but it's something to do with the brakes, and it's something that thankfully Sundown can and knows how to do. So the plan is that we're going to buy the parts, and then he's going to take care of that for her to help her save on labor, because the poor kid just spent $550 on new tires and an alignment, and she's trying to save for her first house, down payment for her first house. We do what we can to help her out, but happy birthday to her. By the way, speaking of Leah and her birthday and whatnot, if you hadn't heard, she is a self-published author. She just released her second book called Nuclear, and you can find that on Amazon and Amazon Kindle, perhaps Barnes and Noble, not sure, but definitely on Amazon and Amazon Kindle. And it's, again, called Nuclear by Leah Marie Brock. Link in the description down below. It is her second book. Her first book was called Within My Skin, also by Leah Marie Brock, and also available on Amazon, Amazon Kindle, and it was available on Barnes and Noble. I'm not sure if it still is, but yeah. There you be. If you're interested and you want to support a young self-publishing author, feel free. We'd love to see what you think of her book. I know a couple of you have already gotten her book and read it and left reviews. I tell you what, every time somebody gets her book, and then especially when she gets the feedback, regardless of whether it's like great or not, it helps her. And she was brought to tears a couple times over this past week. Happy tears, grateful tears, tears of being touched in her soul from people who had purchased her book and are reading it and leaving reviews. So to those of you, you know who you are, I say thank you. And anyone who's interested in young adult kind of paranormal type of books, or you simply know someone who might be into that genre, or you just want to support a young author, the links again are in the description box down below, and we thank you in advance if you decide to partake. Let us know what you think. So yeah, I'm a proud mama. I'm sorry. Let's talk about how about the ongoing medical game that we play around here called Can We Figure Out What on Earth is Wrong with Mushmallow? There are updates. I only mention this. I don't like to really harp unless I am really something about a medical situation is kind of bothering me or eating me up. I don't really like to talk about it because it's kind of a bummer. You know what I mean? But hey, if you're new here, you could probably see my skin is jacked up. And you may not have seen some posts or a Facebook group postings. By the way, we have a Facebook group, Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting. Come find us and join. Anyway, you may or may not have heard that I've been going through the ringer with a new medical issue that has recently developed in the last month and a half that led to my skin looking like this. It's been a mystery. I had been to urgent care multiple times. My doctor had been to him, and I was then sniped, if you will, poached, is that what you call it, out of the urgent care on my last urgent care trip by the attending physician, who was a nurse practitioner, not a doctor, but a nurse practitioner, who saw me at my last urgent care appointment when my eyes swole shut and my limbs were swollen, and I couldn't bend my fingers, my hands were swollen, I couldn't bend my toes, my feet were swollen, had all these itchy, welty hives that were bigger than mosquito bites, and not like small hive. We didn't know what was going on. At first I thought it was an allergic reaction, and so did everybody else, but after multiple trips to urgent care and being treated for anaphylaxis, and it did nothing. My whatever this condition is laughed in the face of allergy treatment, and kept getting worse. So it wasn't that. And then I was told it was a staph infection, and they treated me for that. And this condition laughed in the face of those medications as well and continued to get worse. We kind of entered a mystery zone, right? So on my fourth trip to urgent care, the doctor that was in there said she was an allergist, a nurse practitioner with her own allergy practice, and she was pretty confident that what was wrong with me was allergy related. And so much so that she said, listen, I can treat you with a steroid shot here to help you with the swelling and the inflammation, and maybe get your eyes open again so you can see, and your fingers moving again so you can like do stuff. But if I do that, then I can't do the testing to discover what allergen is causing this. So if you can tough it out for the weekend, I can get you in on Monday and we can run the tests, but you can't do the tests if you take the medication. So you got to choose. Tough it out and suffer through the weekend so you can get some answers, and we'll find out what you're allergic to and get this all to stop. Or you can take medication now and then wait a couple weeks to get answers, because the medication has to clear completely out of your system for 7 full days before I can run the blood work and stuff. And so, and she's like, so you can't take any kind of antihistamine, steroid, anything to help you, like nothing. I'm a trooper. I was like, I need answers more than I need comfort. As long as I can still breathe, and like my throat is not swelling shut, and my tongue is not swelling, blocking my airway, I'll survive. I got ice packs have been helping. I'll so I can open my eyes once in a while. I'll be good. And she said, great. I'll schedule you an emergency appointment, and I'll see you on Monday. And by the way, I'm going to refer you to dermatology too, because this is tearing up your skin, and that way you can have somebody to help you maybe get your skin back under some kind of control, back to a happy place. And I'm like, okay, great. So that's kind of the backstory there. A very brief nutshell. If you're curious, you can check the last few WIP chats where I kind of go into more detail, and you can check the Facebook group if you're really wanting to be grossed out and see I took kind of time-lapse photos of my eyes swelling shut as it was happening, and I shared it with you guys because I'm cool like that. No, I just couldn't believe what was happening, and I didn't know what was happening, and I just wanted to not be alone. So I shared. I'm sorry. Anyway, so all that happened, and I went to that appointment, got scratched up, and she was like, oh, well, you're only on the scratch test. I was only allergic to 4 things. Some kind of fungus, ash tree bark, pollen, something ash tree. There was a grass, cocklebur grass, and then the penicillin family, which I've known about my whole life. I'm severely allergic to penicillin and related psyllins. That was it. Otherwise, like, not animals, not some of the more common major allergens, nothing. She couldn't believe it. She was like, wow, like, usually people just super blow up to this. And, you have 3 mild allergies and 1 big one. And I'm like, okay. So she's like, well, let's do blood work. And we'll test for hundreds of things, and we will find out what's causing this and stop it. And over the next 3 weeks, while we wait for the labs to come in, they'll come in, kind of bits and pieces and stuff. When something comes in that's flagged as an allergen, I will call you so that you can immediately remove that from your life and help kind of get this under control and increase your safety and comfort. And I'm like, okay, great. And she's like, all right, well, in the meantime, wait for me to call. I'll call every time something comes up positive as an allergen. And you go see the dermatologist and start getting your skin repaired and stuff. And we'll go from there. Well, week after week after week has gone by, my friends, and I didn't hear a word from her. Not one word. She never called, and I'm just sitting here. I called it about a week before my follow-up appointment. I was like, she's not calling because she was wrong. She was wrong. Whatever's happening to me is not an allergy. And she is not calling me because I'm not allergic to it. I bet you. She was wrong, and that's why she's not calling me and telling me anything. So in that 3-week time, I did go to the dermatologist. Earlier this week, actually, was my appointment. I did see the dermatologist, and he noticed some things. Several medical professionals over the past couple weeks have noticed what appears to be a mylar type rash on my face, which is a fancy name for the butterfly rash that is common with people with certain immune system disorders, including most notably lupus. And I was going over the symptoms. He was looking in the computer at my charts and my symptoms and my blood work and all this stuff. And he said, I don't feel like this is an allergy. I really am convinced that what we're looking at here is possibly a lupus, one of the types of lupus, but more likely I'm kind of putting my eggs in the porphyria basket. And I was like, the what? What's porphyria? I have never heard of that in my life. I did mention this earlier this week or last week, whatever. I think I mentioned it in a tier 3 WIP Chat. And Tanya, shout out to Tanya, thank you. She kind of hit the nail on the head. She said that she had heard of it before and recognized it as what a lot of people call kind of a vampire disease, basically. In a nutshell, basically, the sun is not my friend. The sun, it can hurt and potentially even kill me. My body has a very negative reaction to the sun. And there's a lot more involved in it. That's a super simplified, very basic, very not all the facts type of thing for description of porphyria. But it is an immune system situation, just not an allergy situation. Basically, I'm a vampire, potentially. The sun is not my friend. And some people kind of call it a sun allergy or being allergic to the sun. And I think I've even mentioned before how the sun and I, just in casual, not related to medical, but just casually, like how the sun and heat and I do not get along. But I did, he wrote the name of this condition down. He says it's super rare. It's super, very rare, but he's seen it a few times and he really thinks that that's a good contender, a strong contender for the culprit here, and has ordered tests in order to determine whether we're on the right track. If it's a lupus or a porphyria situation that we're dealing with, that's really the only two things that he as a dermatologist could jump to here. Because he said pretty much lots of other things have already been ruled out. Allergies and staph infection had been guessed and ruled out. And so he's like, nothing else really fits except for potentially porphyria or maybe lupus, or even rarer, both. So yeah, he ordered the tests for that. And then he said if I had like another major flare with my face swelling up, my eyes swelling shut and stuff like that, or where I get all these massive itchy welts that aren't hives, they're bigger than hives, they're huge. And like my body basically decides to become a topographical map again. Like he said I can come back in same day or next day appointment, and they'll biopsy the lesions, the welts that start popping up, and get, you know, more information. Which, doesn't that just sound delightful, right? And in the meantime, to get more information and hopefully a diagnosis, I get to carry around a gallon or so jug of, I get to carry around a jug, let's just say, for 24 hours, and collect my own urine in it. Yay! It's a party. Living the dream, baby. So after the dermatologist and getting like this revelation, we're looking at lupus and or porphyria as the culprit here, and now we just need to do the tests to prove it. I go back to my follow-up allergy appointment. You remember the allergist who said she would call me over the course of the 3 weeks and keep me in the loop and all that good stuff. Yeah, her. And I went back for my follow-up, and spoiler, first of all, spoiler, she never called me in the 3 weeks. Okay. And then when I got there, she looked over everything and basically said that I was the most not allergic person to like anything that she had in her office. She had this printout with multiple sheets. I got it right here. This. I can't show you because like personal information and stuff, right? But I promise you that's what that paper wiggling was. And apparently, like, I am remarkably boring from an allergy standpoint. I had 2 new allergies revealed through blood work to certain types of grass, one of which I've never heard of before. What's the name of that grass? Timothy grass. I was going to say allergy grass, which is dumb. Timothy grass. I've never heard of it before, but apparently it's prevalent around here. I don't know. Grass is grass to me. So apparently all the pretty, lush green stuff out there, I'm allergic to it. Cool story, bro. I think most people are allergic to some kind of weed or grass, right? It was pretty mild, but on the allergy scale, but it's still an allergy. So 2 new grasses, aside from the ones the scratch tested, I was allergic to. Other than that, apparently, food, chemicals, and all that kind of stuff, no other true allergies were detected. None. 0. This woman who thought that she swore up and down that I was having some major allergic reaction, and I know a lot of you thought it too, and heck, I even thought it. I initially thought I was having an anaphylaxis moment when I first went into urgent care. I remember telling you guys, like, we were going through foods like tahini and our Mediterranean diet and stuff like that. I'm like, is something that even one of my drinks, I know that, remember I'm saying this because it'll come into play here in a minute. I know that I'm allergic to ginger. And I'm like, did I accidentally slurp some ginger somewhere and continuing to do so? I'm checking ingredients on everything. I'm like washing everything in triplicate. I am going to Bare Basics Ivory and Dove soap and all that stuff. Like, I'm checking all the boxes for allergy relief, right? And investigation. And I could not get better. It just kept getting worse and worse, and then going on and on and on. The symptoms never stopped. No matter what we did, no matter what medicines and shots and pills and antihistamines and soaps, and it didn't matter. It wasn't stopping, and we couldn't figure it out. And so I'm just getting comfortable in my chair. That was not me tooting. So, yeah, she was convinced that she was going to solve this mystery and that it was 100% allergy related, and this blood work, we're going to solve the crime, right? And it turns out literally no allergies. She tested over, all in all, between the scratch and the blood work and stuff, I think there was like 200 or 300 things tested. And the grasses, the weeds, the pollens, the fungus, and the penicillin, that was my only true allergies. Now, she did discover that I have some food sensitivities, and some of them are pretty strong, but they're really just sensitivities. And she said that they wouldn't cause what was happening to me. It wouldn't go to an allergic reaction type of place, or hives, face swelling, stuff like that. It would be more of like I would get maybe a runny nose or the sniffles, or maybe a tickly throat, or fatigue, or digestion issues, nausea, or intestinal discomfort, if you feel me, things like that, but not anything that would actually trigger an allergic reaction. But the foods, listen, the foods that she listed and showed me in this report, okay, I could not believe that it came back as me being sensitive to these things, because they're super common and I have consumed them my whole life in regular quantities and stuff. And I mean, these are just things that I have been eating my whole life pretty regularly, on a regular basis. And to find out that I have a pretty moderate, significant sensitivity to some of these food items literally is a shock to me. And I haven't noticed most of them doing anything to me harmful. So let me look. Okay, I want to make sure I don't miss any. So yeah, no allergens, but these are just food sensitivities that were flagged as high. Let's look here. Baker's and brewer's yeast, orange, banana, pork, beef, egg white, chicken, she said. It doesn't say that here, but she told me it was chicken. Oats, wheat, rice, grapes, cow's milk, corn, and cinnamon. That's it, my friends. Those are my food sensitivities. No allergies, only sensitivities. Notice I didn't say anything about ginger. Ginger came back on this blood work as normal. But I promise you, if I were to go to the store and touch a piece of ginger, poof. Especially if I touch it to my lips, Kardashian lips immediately, and cow tongue, absolutely. If I were to stick my finger in powdered ginger and rub it on my lips, poof, 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 poof. We'd be in the emergency room right now. I know this because it happened fairly recently. And so why that was not triggered on this food sensitivity allergy thing came back. It's on there. I saw ginger on the list, and it said the number was in the normal limits. But I'm telling you, I know this for a fact. So something went awry, at least with the ginger test, because I 100% am positive that I am allergic to ginger. And I have been for a long time, and still am, because I had a recent event. So, yeah, do I trust this? This lady has she told me that she was positive what was going on with me was a major allergic reaction, and it turns out totally wasn't. She told me that I was going to be allergic to everything under the sun, and I ended up being not really allergic to much of anything. and so she ended the appointment with like agreeing with the dermatologist. She actually said it's a good thing that you followed up with the dermatologist, because I told her I did and what he said and what he was saying that he thought it was. And she was like, actually, yeah, I'm glad you followed up with him, and that makes a lot of sense, because I guess I was wrong. It's not allergies. This is not an allergic system immune response. This is something else. I agree that it's an immune system thing, but it wasn't allergies like I thought. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, yeah, me too. But at least now we know, and we've ruled some things out, right? I guess that's the positive that can come from this. But she actually had said, like, she couldn't believe that I was so unremarkable in terms of I just got sidetracked, because I'm just thinking I am unremarkable. I'm just a human. I'm an average plain Jane human. I'm unremarkable. But no, and not only that, but also unremarkable in medical terms as far as allergies are concerned. She was shocked that I was so unallergic to so very many things that most people are allergic to. Did notice the cow's milk in there, but no sensitivities, and it's not an allergy, it's just a sensitivity. And I tell you, my intestines know it when I have a milkshake or anything with ice cream. But I found it funny that cow's milk was on there, but under the cheeses, I'm really not sensitive to any cow's milk products. How is that possible? How can I have this huge sensitivity, almost like maybe almost bordering an allergy, a huge sensitivity to milk, cow's milk, but not at all to cow's milk products like cheeses? Go figure. I don't know. Listen, I don't know. But we are done with the allergist now. That has been completely ruled out. Detectives, anyone who's been following along and trying to help and give suggestions and maybe helping us figure it out, it is not. It has been definitively proven through blood work and scratchy tests and etc. It is not an allergy reaction. Take allergies off the suspect list. And really, after everything that's been tested and stuff, what we're really, according to the dermatologist, left with is one of the lupuses, like one of the forms of lupus, or one of the forms of porphyria. He thinks it's the cutaneous, I think is how you say it, cutaneous porphyria. He is the most likely culprit, and I just need to get my urine from my body into that jug, and then that jug to the lab for us to find out more information, and potentially even a biopsy to help really hammer it home. So that's kind of where we're at now. We'll have answers soon. So yeah, fun times ahead. Now that we got all that out of the way, a few quick updates before I get to the creep mail goodies. Well, one update before I get to the creep mail goodies. The Raccoon Mafia. A lot of you have been asking and about how that's going, and shared some of your experiences with the Raccoon Mafia of your own. And some of the pictures I've seen have been, whew, those little suckers can cause some damage. Well, what I can say as an update on our ongoing crime documentary here, the Raccoon Mafia, is that there has been, let's call them staffing changes. These, I think there was like 3, maybe 4 members of the Raccoon Mafia have accepted permanent retirement. I'm not saying that we've won the war or anything like that. It's just, let's just say the organization is having hiring difficulties, staffing issues. The Mafia, Raccoon Mafia is dwindling away. will go with that. They are being displaced to torture other biomes. They're moving on to greener pastures. They're changing their criminal ways. Or at least they're continuing their crime spree somewhere else, not here. So yeah, there's been 3 or 4 of the members of the Raccoon Mafia that have mysteriously disappeared. And we're hoping that maybe if there are any remaining, that they get scared off. They need to go away now. That's the update on the Raccoon Mafia. And in other Coop news, if I hadn't already mentioned it, or if this is repetitive, I'm sorry, but we do have 3 kind of new baby ducks. They are Honey and Butter's babies, but as eggs, they were given to Mom Down's daily assisted living helper person, and she wanted to incubate and hatch and raise, but I don't think she realized how big ducks can get or something. I don't know. She hatched 3 of them, and they were Honey and Butter's babies, my baby's babies. And they got to a certain point where they were too big for the place she had created for them, and asked them if we could please take them back. And we did. Of course we did. And so Honey and Butter's babies have, and they immediately, I don't know if they could tell, like sense, smell, recognize. I don't know how that all works, but immediately they were welcomed into the flock, and Honey and Butter have been tending to their ducklings, and everybody is reunited, happy and safe. And yeah, it was like they had been hatched here and raised here, and everything's going very well. They were accepted and are being cared for and loved. So there's that. And yeah, I guess that's really the only Coop news updates we have. No other big things going on. The biggest news was that the Raccoon Mafia, they're having a hard time. They're having a hard time. We aren't. We're having a good time. They're having a hard time. Okay. So let's just take a break for a minute because we got to the fun part. Creep mail. I did get some creep mail from some subscribers, some very special people. I've been using one this whole video. One of these putties here. I got sent some putty love. I know it looks all gobbledygook because I've been poking and stretching and prying at it. This is a baby powder scented putty, and I'm going to tell you the details of the shop and stuff. And in the package, there, I don't want to stick it to the canvas. In the package, there was this. Look at this. Grumpy Bear Scented Putties, Cookies and Cream. And it's of the firm variety. So there's that. And there's a warning to keep away from children and eyes. Don't eat it. Store it in a cool, dry place. And it tells you what the ingredients are, which is nice. We don't see that very often. Putty, fragrance oil, food coloring, and mica powder are in here. And it comes. Ugh, speak English, woman. Nicely packaged. And imagine my surprise when I opened it up and it wasn't just like a thematic Grumpy Bear sticker and whatever. It's actually shaped like a the Grumpy Care Bear. Oh my gosh. I don't want to out people who maybe don't want to be outed, so I will just say an initial maybe. Is that okay? Or a first name? Are we okay with first name? Thank you, Tracy. I hope that's okay. Don't be mad at me. Thank you, Tracy, for this gift. There's more, but I'm just saying super thank you. Because normally I'd be like, Care Bears, I don't think so. But this is the Grumpy Care Bear with the little thundercloud. I have not had... I've been using the like normal round putty that's not decorative like this, but because I wanted to check it out, and I've been really enjoying it. And again, I'll tell you the shop in a minute, but hold on, we're gonna do something. Okay, so I need to send Crafty-ish Kristyn a package, right? So I would like her to partake in this putty. So you guys are gonna help me. And I think this is the perfect putty to send her some of, but this is my putty, and so I don't want to give it all to her, and you can't make me. This came to my mailbox, but here's what I'm going to do. Let's see if we can we peel the paper away. I think that I'm going to be nice, and I'm going to send her a piece. I'm going to send her a piece, and I've decided that this is the perfect piece. So, here we go. So we're going to take this. I'm going to take this piece of putty. Oh my gosh, look, surprisingly, it happened to have been the head. That's crazy. That's really strange. And I'm going to stuff it in this little a miniature version of the container it kind of came in, right? And we're just gonna package this up just like this and seal it shut there. And this is gonna go in the mail with some other things to Crafty-ish Kristyn. That's a much better situation here. Now I can use this putty. I can't wait to dip my pen in and give it a try, but I didn't want to wreck it until I made sure to break off a little piece for Kristyn. I did have permission from the sender to do that, by the way, to share with Kristyn. Maybe not that particular piece or something, but not in that manner, maybe. I did not have permission for that head to go to Kristyn, but the other one, the other one is the Talon Scented Putty Noir Opium, and it's also in the firm designation from the same shop. And look at this artistry. And like I said, I am going to tell you the shop here in a second. I'll show you their card, but I'll let you know this is a UK brand. This came from the UK and it made it all the way to me in Arkansas in great shape. Look at how beautiful that is. Look at that. I love that. It's like an iridescent, like purpley blue iridescent dragon talon claw situation with a gold nail. And it smells good. So did the Care Bear too, by the way. The Care Bear scent is really subtle. This Noir Opium situation is a little stronger, but it smells good. It smells like sundown. So, Tracy, you bought a putty that smells like sundown for me and didn't even know it. But it smells like sundown and I love it. It smells really good. It's not at all offensive. It's not so strong that it's offensive. And the baby powder smells good. And this is also a firm variety. I've really been enjoying this putty, and it's the same as this, just not decorative. And so I'm sure I'm gonna really like these as well. And I'm really excited. I was excited to try something from the UK. And normally I will instinctually reject putties that are kind of like in pads like this, and they have a little stretch to them. I'm immediately like, nope, not gonna work for me. It's gonna stick to my canvas and stick to everything I own and tick me off and wear out in 2 seconds and all that stuff. But this has been long lasting, and it has a couple times in this video actually gotten on my canvas. And it will occasionally get in between the drills or stick to the drills, but it has been very easy to just pluck right off. Literally, it doesn't string, stick, smear, none of that. So even on the occasion that it does get on the canvas, I'm easily able to pick it off without any damage to my canvas or drills. So that is surprising for a pad putty like this that's, soft and a little moist, you know what I'm saying? I expected it to string and fight me, and it really hasn't, and it's pretty long lasting. I've had this for about a week, and it was a circle. It was a circle, and I've used a chunk off this side and right here, and still have plenty left. of this one. So yeah, love that. But it did come with a gift bag, and it was cool. It's this really cool diamond painting pen. Is it a diamond painting pen or is it a pen? It looks like it's a pen. I lied, not a diamond painting pen. It's a pen with diamonds and drills in here. Oh, it's a twisty. That's why. Okay. I was like, It's a twisty writing pen. This is a righty pen, not a diamond painting pen. Get your head out of your butt, mushy. Then it also came with this really nice silk hair tie, which is really good for not breaking your hair. And it came with lip balm and a little nail emery board. And I don't know what this is. It's just like a little, come here. It's like a little charm. It came with a little pretty turquoise and gold kind of stone charm situation. Actually, wouldn't it have been nice if I had, I don't know, turned on a light for you guys to maybe see a little brighter? There. And I got some peach lip balm, and I'm always needing emery boards here. It came with instructions on how to use the putty, how to load your pen, prep your pen, start putting diamond drills down, etc. That's pretty cool. I don't want to lose any of this, so we're going to write back in here. But what a nice package, right? And oh, also a little pad of sticky notes. Love that. And there's a thank you card. It does contain a little code on there. I don't know if they're personal or whatever. I don't want to go blasting codes out there, so I covered it up. I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to hurt a business. You know what I'm saying? And then we got some stickers, some non-offensive stickers here, and thank you for supporting small businesses. And it tells me who it's from. It's from a brat, the brat. And then some socials. Follow us here. And this shop is called Gemify Designs UK. You can follow them. All of the socials are right there. Hopefully, if you need to look, you can look there. That's who this is. Gemify Designs UK. Highly recommend their putty. I've been using it for the last week, all sneaky behind the scenes, and really enjoyed it. Thank you. Thank you, Tracy, for sending this to me and exposing me to some UK products. I absolutely love that we get to try that out. And I really loved the theme of these, the smell of these, the appearance of these. Really awesome presentation. And if they perform as well as this did, then I've got putty to last me a while, and it's actually really good padded putty. Can't believe it. And we even got permission to send us a little sample to Crafty-ish Kristyn. So she'll get a little something. Heads up, Kristyn. A package is coming. And I did get another Creep Mail putty package, and this one was from Sparkles in Art, and it came with a mystery sample. Let me see. I kept their card over here. Yes, here. Sparkles in Art on Etsy. And here are their socials if you want to check it out. And this putty, is my understanding it was a new release. It's called Chonky Putty, and it's a 15-gram tin. It's this like balm type of tin with a screw top. And here it is. Here it is. Ooh, smells fruity. It smells pleasantly fruity. I like that. But yeah, this is called the Chonky Putty. And this is more of the type of putty I normally find myself gravitating toward. It kind of just, it's dry enough to break apart. It doesn't really taffy, doesn't string. It's got a little, I can feel a little moisture in here. It's not completely dry, but it is on the drier side. And as you can see, you can kind of just rip pieces off. This is the sort that I have been playing around with this one a little bit this week. You can kind of dip your pen in it and wiggle it around and then rip off the edges if you want to, but it's quicker and easier on your pen tips, your tabletops and whatever to break pieces off with a tweezer and stuff it in your pen. This one's okay. It has a really awesome pop when it's freshly applied into your pen. It's like pop. I mean, massive loud pop. I really enjoy and appreciate that. It doesn't seem to play unkindly with ABs. Same thing with this putty that was from the UK. It plays nice with all kinds of special drills I've found so far. This one does play relatively nice with ABs and other special drills. Occasionally I get a little bit of an issue where it doesn't want to let them go, but for the most part, plays nice. It picks up off the canvas nice if you get it on the canvas. It does wear down. I feel like I'm refreshing my pen a lot. It seems after the first few bits of placing, the pop sort of kind of simmers down to not so much of a pop, no sound. It takes that stick away, and you don't get that satisfying pop, and then it also kind of loses its tack pretty quick too. So I found that I was constantly refilling my pen. And it did come with a mystery regular putty sample. I can feel it in here, a little pad of regular putty, not chunky, but regular. So that's just kind of a brief first impressions and little bit of testing with this. But yeah, this was another gift I got from Anonymous. So thank you, Anonymous, for this gift, and I will continue playing around with this. I want to give it a couple more days, give it some time. I'm going to experiment with it, let it sit out, maybe with the lid askew, and then maybe a piece with the lid off out in the elements, see if it dries up even more or anything, like what happens over time, and see if anything improves with that. It's not bad. It's not my favorite. It's not bad, though, at all. It's definitely usable. And then we have one more package we're going to open together. So let me rip this. This is from a subscriber. Gosh darn it. Please stand by. Let me get scissors. Okay, the scissors were right here. This is from subscriber. I will call her Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. I'm excited to see what's in here. I did get a preview, so I kind of know what's in here, and I'm very excited. And spoiler, I'm going to break the Slash the Stash rules a little bit in August. One of the canvases is going to be this one. It's not going to be a randomly selected one. At least this one's not. I'm picking it, okay? I'm picking it. Ta-da! Here it is. It says, "Don't try to figure me out. I'm a special kind of twisted." And it is folded, so we don't see the whole picture, but I can show you the thumbnail there. There it is. It's kind of a mixture of that macabre and beauty. We got a pretty butterfly here. It looks like a pretty color palette, but we do have a skeletal figure here and a little skull right here. So I like this. I like the message of this. Don't try to figure me out. I'm a special kind of twisted. Loving that. It's 22 colors and it's a 30 by 40, which is why it's going in my Slash the Stash, and it's going to be prominently featured as an important role in August. So again, Lisa, thank you. I appreciate this. I love this. And you'll be seeing it again very, very soon. I assure you. And I know this is dragging on quite long, so I'm going to wrap it up by giving you just a quick update on the crypt status. We have finished insulation. Drywall is coming next, and I'm going to bring you guys along with us and kind of update you on what's going on. So expect a video regarding the crypt construction situation and what's been going on. Tier 3 has already seen a little sneak peek of where we're at, and then everyone is going to get to see kind of an update on where the crypt situation is at with construction and stuff. And then We do have some PR videos coming up soon. Diamond Design Co. I can't show you. I don't know. I don't know if I can show you the designs, but I can. I'm going to show you the back of the box. Because the front has the designs. It has the designs. So, here. I know, I'm such a tease. Yes, but you guys are going to get to see some stuff from the Diamond Design Co. very, very soon. I'm excited. How about I talk into the microphone? I'm excited to share that set with you. It's a new set. Can't wait to dig into that. More on that in the future. And then we have PR from a new to me shop that's been making waves in the diamond painting community lately, and I am going to present a unboxing, but we're going to do something a little bit different. So it's going to take me a little time before this video gets out to you, but here's your hint. Here's your hint. I'm not going to tell you who it is or what the image is, but it says every diamond you place is a small step toward something extraordinary. Ta-da! That's the hint onto, like, as to where this canvas came from, at least, and a sneak peek at what their packaging looks like, right? It's a box, and it's got like tabs to keep it all securely together, and you get to see their slogan. That's all you get this time. But like I said, we're not going to be doing just a normal, oh, look at, here's the shop, here's the unboxing, here's the little chit chat about my initial impressions, bye. We're not going to be doing that. We're going to do something a little different. So bear with me while I put that together for you, and you'll be seeing it hopefully pretty soon within the next couple weeks. And yeah, those are some of the sneaky peeky diamond painty type of things we got going on, and you will be seeing me get a little work done here and there between challenge canvases on Captive Fairy, which we kitted up in our recent live. And that's the one you guys voted to see me do next in between challenges. So that's been life around here, you guys. We've had birthdays, medical mysteries, raccoon organized crime, unexpected tire expenses, poor Leah, an overflowing mailbox with creep mail coming in for a change. Crazy. I'm usually, like I said, the one who sends it out. It was really nice to be treated and spoiled. Thank you, Tracy, Lisa, and Anonymous. I love your faces and I really appreciate your thoughtfulness. And somewhere in between all of that happening, I've managed to actually get some diamond painting done. This is the last canvas of our July challenge, so I expect, fingers crossed, that I will have the challenge finished before the end of the month. But we'll see, because I do have some other stuff and things I got to get to that are going to interrupt my progress on this. So I'd love to hear what's been going on in your world. What is your latest life update that you want to share? Are you working on anything exciting? Have you had any unexpected expenses lately? Like, did Adulthood kneecap you too? And if you've enjoyed hanging out with me today, don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, stay naughty.